Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, where you can find freedom from the daily grind through budgeting and simple living. I've just been out to the supermarket. It's in my normal fortnightly shop, and it's going to be Christmas, so this includes my Christmas bits and bobs. Anything that we don't already have, I'm stocking up on. And yeah, I thought I would unpack the groceries, show you what I spent, and we'll go from there. How does that sound? As is my new method, I am keeping an eye on what I spend on each item, and I'm going to be writing it down on the item so I always remember how much, each thing was, and then I know if I'm getting a deal or not, and I can start to shop just a little more wisely. So I'm going to go first up on my list is this dog food, and it's $10.95. So I'm shopping for a family of 4, myself, my husband, and 2 teenagers, and 1 wee dog. So I'll pop that away, and then I've got 2 tins of meat. This should last a month, I think, but I haven't really tracked this stuff very well, so I don't actually know for sure. That's just my guess. But I'm just going to try really hard this coming year to be much more mindful with what I spend. I want to be really putting money into the things that I value, so I'd rather be... what can I say? I'd rather be spending money on other things than the boring things. I like to eat healthy food, but I'm not a massive foodie, so I don't want us to be hungry, and I want us to have plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables. I buy organic in bulk, but I'm not someone who is ever going to go to like a 5-star Michelin star restaurant or whatever it is, because I just wouldn't get the value from that. Do you know what I mean? So there's my dog food. The dog's fed now for the month. I do have 1 big packet of kibble already, but we're out of the tins. So that's that done, so I can cross them off the list. I've got 2 packs of toilet paper. So I've managed to get quite good deals recently on toilet paper, and I've stocked up. It wasn't on sale, but we have 2 extra people coming to stay over Christmas, so I thought I'd better, get plenty of toilet paper, because crikey, you don't want to run out of that. So that's $6.65 each. And I don't know if recycled toilet paper is, a good thing or a bad thing, but in my head I think it's a good thing, so that's why I keep buying it. But it is, a wee bit more expensive than just the average toilet paper. Now, for Christmas Day, I've made heaps and heaps of elderflower fizz, but my husband, I know he's going to want to sit down with the people who are coming to stay and have a beer. He doesn't drink beer. That's been his challenge for the year, is to not have any alcohol. So I bought him some ginger beer so that he can still feel like one of the guys. And he appreciates that when he saw it. That's quite expensive though, that's $12. So all in all, I guess, there's 10 of them in there, so it's $1.20 per can. I don't know if that's a good price or not, actually. Now for meat, we got so much meat. Well, I don't know if you'd call fish fingers meat, I do. So $8.59 for that. We're not in a position really to have takeaways very often. It's just a real waste of money. For a family pack of fish and chips, enough to kind of feed my family, it would cost us about $35, and that's just too much for a takeaway, I think. So I buy some fish fingers, we dig up some potatoes from the garden, and have our own fish and chips. Okay, here's one of the big expenses for Christmas. Just wait there, one tick. When I stuffed my cash this week, I stuffed $300, and I had $100 allocated for Christmas specifically, and then $200 just for a normal shop. And there are some big ticket items in here that do relate specifically just to Christmas Day. And I did actually go out over because I've already spent $325 and I'm going to spend another $25. So it's going to be $350 as opposed to my original plan, which was $300. So $175 a week, not so bad when you consider a family of 4 plus it's Christmas Day where we are having things that we wouldn't normally get. I did kind of have a think about it and think, okay, if I couldn't, squeeze in the extra 50 somehow, what would I have done? And one of the things I would have done was not to buy 2 litres of cream. But I know we're going to have a lot of puddings on Christmas Day, and cream is loved by everybody in our house. It's $16.19 for this cream. So I would have gone and got a 500 ml of cream, which is, a lot less than that. I might have even been better off, really, in retrospect. No, I wouldn't have. It's probably just under $5 for 500 mils. So this is probably still a good deal, I think. But actually, I have to be honest, I didn't check it. I just zoned in for the big container of cream. So that's one thing that could have changed to keep us in budget. And then we've got custard. Where are you? Okay, Meadow Fresh custard. That's $4.29. That was the best priced custard available. And again, I could have not bought this because we do have custard, that you make on the stovetop, and we could have just used that custard. This was the particular request from my daughter for the thing that she's making, so I was happy to do it. But again, could have been a saving there if I needed. I'm not at all someone who's bothered by putting stuff back. Like if I didn't have the money in my wallet, I would just put it back. I don't feel any shame or anything related to that. Growing up, my mum would have done the same thing. It's just, I just don't even think of it as anything. I just go, oh, I've added it up wrong in my head. Time to go back. So the volumetric cheese here, that's $10.79 each. And that is the best price cheese. And then we've got butter following close on its heels. This is the best price butter, and that's $6.99. Have you guys done your Christmas Day shop yet? I think it's important to remember that it is just one day and it is kind of just one meal. So it's important, don't feel the pressure to go crazy. It's, a special meal, but it doesn't have to be something that puts you in debt or stresses you out. Okay, next, what have I got? Tin stuff. Now, one of the things I quite like, it's not a very glamorous product, but I just really like tin fruit salad. And I don't know why, if that's a product, if I'm just a product of my 1980s childhood, but we would always have like a tin of fruit salad at Christmas time, and not normally at other times for some reason. And I don't even know that they would add extra fruit to it to make it like a fresh fruit salad with a base of tin fruit, or if we just ate the tin fruit. But I always remember there was only ever like one red cherry in it, and to get the cherry, which was quite tasteless but colourful, that was like a real win. Like if you got the cherry in your plate, you felt really good about yourself. So there's a fruit salad. I bought 2 of those. And I bought some value spaghetti just to top up what we've had. We've made some toasted sandwiches, and I think someone had spaghetti on toast, that kind of thing. I also got baked beans, so I got 5 in total, and they are 79 cents each. Oops. we've got peaches. I got 2 lots of what is peaches as well. I have some kind of rules that I shop by, and one of them is that I don't buy things that are made in China. So if I can't find the peaches that aren't made in China, then I will feel like I'm forced to buy the New Zealand ones, which isn't a bad thing, but they're just more expensive. So figure that out. You can buy a peach from China for cheaper than you can buy a peach from New Zealand. But they are what they are, and they will be yummy, and that's $1.79. And they're definitely a better price now in summer than they are in winter. So if you stock up now on tinned fruit, then you can have it in winter. Unless you have so much fruit on your own trees that you can bottle it yourself, and then I would definitely recommend that. I am not at that stage yet with my little home orchard. Next, I just got 3 coconut creams, and that's just to replace what I have already used over the last 2 weeks. If I make a curry, then I would be using coconut cream. So $1.39 each. I think that's really good value because I use the cream from these. She might write it on here. All the time. If I have a recipe and it requires like normal cow's milk cream, we very rarely have that. So I would just use a dollop of this cream and it works great. And it's a really good price. A tin of that would do a couple of curries, so I feel like it's really good value. Oops, there's my baked beans, which I've already done. Eggs have gone back up again, and of course they have. They've gone up because everyone knows that at Christmas time you're going to do heaps of baking and use heaps of eggs in your pavlovas. So I think it's that thing. I find it pretty annoying with supermarkets. These eggs here would cost them no more than they did last time I went to shop, when I could get 18 eggs for less than this amount of money, and now I can get 10 eggs for that amount of money. Again, it is what it is. Then I have to make the choice, do I want the eggs or not? Pavlova requires lots of eggs, meringues require lots of eggs. This is stuff my daughter wants to make for Christmas, and I want to encourage that in her, so we have the eggs. I have some cocoa powder. That's just replacing cocoa powder that we opened this week, and that's $5.75. We bake a lot, like we make a lot of things from scratch. Definitely any snacky lunchbox things. There's never anything bought in there. Obviously there's lots of pre-packaged stuff because I've got coconut cream and tinned peaches, but for the most part I try and do everything that I can from scratch. And I think that saves heaps of money. A little pack of marshmallows. They were $2.89. And that again is a specific Christmas Day expense. That's going to be for ambrosia. That is on our menu and I'm really looking forward to it. What do we got in this bag? Okay, I've got a couple of jellies. We already had jelly, so I could have put this back if I wanted, but I think this will just top us up. We'll probably use one of those on Christmas Day, and they're $1.09 each. And then I've got the chocolate buttons. I only needed 1 pack of these, but again, I'm just doing this to stock up, and one of these will be opened and used in the ambrosia, and they're $3.99 each. I had been buying these in bulk, but they're twice as expensive, and they still come in a plastic bag. I, for some reason, thought they came like in a massive, bulk bag of something, but then I saw at the bin that they were just in kind of bags about this size, so bigger than this, but still not huge. And they were just topping up the bins from that. So I thought, okay, well, there's no benefit to the environment. There's no benefit to me cost-wise, so why am I doing this? So I've stopped doing that. It doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm just kidding myself otherwise. And then I've got 2 of these. So our 2 guests that are going to be staying with us. I don't want them to miss out. I'm not going to write on those, but they were $4.79 each. So there's an extra $10. And I got some throat lozenges for the first aid kit. Unfortunately, my daughter has pertussis at the moment. There's an epidemic in New Zealand, and they don't call it the 100-day cough for nothing. It's going on forever and ever. She's not super keen on these, but sometimes they do help. I love these throaties. I think they're really nice. You know, like this. You know, you used to get those kind of soft. They were hard but soft lollies that you could suck on, and they were delicious. So I quite like that flavour. She's not so keen, but it does kind of stop her coughing. So they're there just in case they're needed. And they were $1.05 each. You might be thinking, did I buy anything fresh? Yeah, I've got some fresh stuff and it's next on the list. So I've got just some onions here. Remember, we've got a big garden as well, so I do have onions in the garden. I could pull them up, they'd be fine, but they are storing onions. I want them for winter. We don't eat a ton of onions in summer, but I like to have a few just available for when we do need them. And they were $1.83. So onions, pretty good price. I do normally buy my fruit and veg at the organic shop. For the purpose of this, I did it all at one place. And what prompted me to do that is I went to the organic shop last week to buy fruit and veg, and there was like literally nothing there. I got potatoes, I got some kiwi fruit and some not tangerines, some oranges, and that was it. There was no onions, there was no carrots, there were no tomatoes. So I thought, okay, we do need to eat fresh fruit and vegetables, so I'll buy it at the supermarket when I'm next there. Next, I've got some more dairy products. So I've got some sour cream that was on sale today for $3.49. And I've got nothing specific in mind for using that, but it's a good price and it doesn't expire for a while, so that's nice to have. I've got some corn chips. Hey, maybe that's what I'll use the sour cream for. Again, not necessarily that I'm planning to have nachos, but we do have these people coming to stay, and that is a nice, easy dinner if you get a bit stuck. I'm off now work for the next 5 days, so I've got plenty of time to get myself organised, cook good dinners from scratch. I have no time pressure whatsoever. So I've got a ton of meat, which I'll go through soon. Next, I've got this cheese, which was $3.39. So that's just fancy, well, not super fancy as it is Pam's classic camembert. It's as fancy as I get with cheese. And I've got another one already in the fridge left over from another grocery shop. So there's a couple of those. I'll make some homemade crackers. We've got some relish and pickles. So that'll just be like a little dipping platter, you know, something nice for people to have if they like on Christmas Day, if we get some visitors, that kind of thing. Okay, I think that is all the kind of tin stuff. Now I'm on to the fresh fruit and veggies. So I got these apples. They are from, oh no, first of all, I've got these cucumbers. Oh, I did buy an organic cucumber last week, and it cost me $7. And we ate it that day. So I felt like if I bought 3 cucumbers at $21, that's probably too much to spend on a cucumber. But I did go out and buy some more cucumber plants so that we can have our own organic cucumbers. We just have one tiny one growing at the moment. So I put another plant in and hopefully we'll have enough cucumbers over the summer. It's not very sunny at the moment though, so it might take a while for them to take off. So those 3 cucumbers, they were $2.39 each, and that came to $7.17. And then I've got my apples. So I have 2 bags of apples, and these are nice crispy apples. Let's see, and they were $5.49 a pack, which is not a bad price actually in New Zealand for a kg of apples. So $5.49 a kg. Again, we've got an apple tree. The apples are growing, but they are not there yet. They're far from it actually. I'm hoping we'll have a really good crop this year because I did the whole putting a thing around the trunk of the tree to try and catch the codling moth larvae and then burnt it. So I'm hoping that we don't have too many damaged apples. I've got my bananas. Bananas, I bought a whole heap last time I was at the supermarket because they had those ones, you know, that are bruised that you can bake with. These bananas were $3.55 a kg and I had 2.1 kg, so it came to $7.53. So I bought tons of bananas and I just baked tons of banana bread and put it in the freezer. So we have tons of banana bread, which is quite nice, and banana muffins. Just going to make a little bit more space here. I've got 2 packets of tomatoes. These are 700 grams each pack. So 1.4 kgs of tomatoes. What did that cost me? You want to know, don't you? That they were $4.49 each, so $8.98 all up for the tomatoes. It's still quite expensive, and again we have tomato plants but still no actual tomatoes. So lots of this fruit and veg shop won't be necessary later on in the season, but for now, got to eat fruit and veggies, right, to keep healthy. And I've got tons of carrots. We eat a lot of carrots. The kids, they have braces so they can't just go and eat a whole carrot, but they'll grate it with like a grated carrot and a grated apple and have that as a snack. So there was 1.9 kgs of carrots there, so that came to $6.55. And I've got 3 red capsicums in here. And I went for red capsicums because they are 60 cents less than an orange or a yellow capsicum. I'm not sure why, they taste exactly the same to me. I don't know. Like I said, I'm no foodie. So for me, I quite like colour, and I think I can find orange. I will just get some, if I'm making a salad and I use these, and I think, oh, that looks a bit bland because there's a red tomato and a red capsicum with the green lettuce, I will go and get some flower petals and sprinkle that along, or I'll use an orange and pop that in, and that will give it an orange colour. You know, like there's things you can do, grate a carrot. For me, I like just to see lots of different colours, but I'm not going to pay 60 cents more to get a different coloured capsicum. So let's see, those capsicums there were $1.99 each. So that was $5.97. And in here I've got today's little special treat, apricots. Apricots are $8.99 a kg, and I just have 4, and that's one for each member of our family. You'll be eating a nice apricot as soon as I finish putting this stuff away. We also have a big apricot tree. We gave it a good prune this autumn, and it doesn't have any apricots this year. Last year it had, honestly, apricots that were like a tennis ball. They were so wonderful, and I'm just wondering if it's one of those trees that just fruits every second year. So fingers crossed it'll be a bumper crop next year with a bit of luck. So those 4 apricots cost $1.87, and I've done the same with some nectarines. Nectarines are also really expensive. They're $7.99 a kg. So I spent $2.96 and just got 4 nectarines. We have a nectarine tree planted, and that looks like it's going to do all right this year. The peach looks a bit... Oh no, actually it's the other way around. The peach looks like it's doing all right. The nectarine looks still a bit bleh. Gets a lot of leaf curl. We don't spray it, so we're just trying to build up the soil and the plants around it so that it can look after itself better. So a bit of a long-term gain. So yeah, 4. So we've bought, you know, the boring fruit like apples, more of those because they're a better price, and then just the treaty fruit that is expensive until we can grow our own and it'll be free. Just less of that, but I still want to make sure we can eat some of those yummy things. Gosh, I think that's almost it, isn't it? Apart from the meat. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I think this is an incredibly big shop for $325. I don't know how it compares with you guys. Just give me a second, I'm just going to move this plant. Okay, so now I'm onto the meat. Meat. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I don't eat meat. So this is not for me, this is for the rest of the family. And I've got Christmas meat as well as just general meat. So I've got this free-range chicken, $7.39. That's skinless thigh cutlets. That's an alright price. Then I bought 3 packets of sausages. There's 2 there and 1 over here. So that's 3 packets of sausages for $25. We have a barbecue that we're going to be cranking up for Christmas Day. So we'll be having definitely a pack of these sausages on Christmas Day. And the rest is just for normal dinners throughout the week. I've got a bulk pack of mince. That's $17.53 and that's 1.096 kgs. So that's $15.99 a kg. And I put that into different plastic bags and put that in the freezer. So that's one meal, that's another. And that works quite well. If I need to bulk something up, I will bulk it up with vegetables or lentils. And then I've got this expensive chunk of meat here for $39.99. That's a kg of beef fillet steak unsliced. So that's what my husband asked for Christmas Day. That's for him. Well, it's not just for him, obviously. It's a kg of meat. But that's the thing he wanted to cook. So he's in charge of that. So that's it. That's our entire shop. I still have a couple of things to get. And I've written them on the bottom of my list here. I've got to get a handful of walnuts for a salad that I'm making. I'll do that at the I'll do that at the bin in and just get a little jar of those. So that won't be very many dollars, but it will be some dollars. And I need to get 4 soy milks. We buy macro organic soy milk, and that will be about $14. So I'm just for ease in general, I'm going to say the total cost of the shop is $350. What you see here today is $325, and that is what our family will use to stock up our cupboards and draw from over the next 2 weeks. What do you guys think? Is that comparable to what you do, or is it completely different? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you all have a super wonderful Christmas. I hope you can stay on budget, don't get stressed out, and if you're lucky enough, hand the cooking over to someone else. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.